A few days ago, Clash of Clans announced one of the biggest, if not the biggest, updates coming to the game in history. Troop training is changing. No, wait, scratch that. Troop training is being removed entirely from Clash of Clans this month. They had a little link. Learn more. Takes you to this blog page, which you guys can read. If you guys haven't already, I also made a video on it here on my channel, the biggest update in Clash of Clans history. They are removing training times in an update coming later this month. Like I said, if you want to read the entire blog page, you guys can. I will link it down in the description below. And you can also check out the video I made. I'm sure you've probably seen other creators such as Judosloth and all the other major Clash YouTubers covering this topic as well, because it's a pretty significant change, right? So they uploaded this post a couple days ago. They had the blog post. We uploaded videos about it, but then there was some rumors going around, I guess you could say, about one of the changes that would be coming with this instant training time removal update, right? Stirred up a bit of controversy, I guess you could say. Now we have a tweet from Clash Ninja. He put it pretty simple, pretty bluntly. This update will include a change for spam attack prevention. This means if you force quit, disconnect from the game client in an attempt to immediately complete the attack, you'll need to wait until the attack has naturally completed before you can attack again. This will apply to attacks in home village, builder base, and clan capital. Of course, quote tweeting his tweet. Now, a lot of players, upon learning this, upon hearing this, came as a little bit of surprise. Now, if you guys don't know what this means exactly, if you force quit or disconnect, that's basically if you close the game. If you swipe up and you force close the app and you disconnect. What that does at the time of making this video is it completely finishes your attack. So you can basically keep attacking over and over again. Now, a lot of people ask me, what would be the point of, force closing your game instead of, watching your troops attack? So a lot of attacks are very repetitive when it comes to especially clan capital and builder base, right? When you're doing builder base, you typically want to go in and snipe, buildings. When it comes to clan games, of course, if you're farming for 6 builder, that does take a long time. Loot and builder base is very scarce, especially with no star bonus. You don't have that builder star jar. And clan capital, of course, right? You only have 6 attacks, but if you have multiple accounts, or you don't really want to sit there, especially if you're using like a mass super minor strategy with the free spells and the skelly spells, it can be very repetitive to just sit there and watch the attack go through. Especially the attacks, in my opinion, are not really that complicated, at least at the time of making this video. So that's why you would want to quit and disconnect from the game. Now, a lot of people, you can imagine, whether you use the force quit or disconnect from the game client or not, a lot of people were a little upset about this. So yeah, they also uploaded an upcoming tweet, or like a follow-up tweet. What will happen to Clash? Hello, Chief. As we announced the upcoming army training time removal, we noticed that there were some concerns about how Clash will look like after this goes live in the game. As we mentioned before, we want to modernize Clash and make it a game where you can battle anytime you want. Would this change cause some new problems? Probably yes. However, we will be monitoring and adjusting to those new problems when they arise. We will count on your feedback to help us making sure that every new problem is noted and addressed after the changes go live. We prepared a short FAQs to address some of the biggest concerns, and we're working on a demo video that will explain in detail how everything works, which will come later in the month. Meanwhile, please read the FAQs below. Will the army training time changes go live in the next update? Yes, but will not be in the game exactly on the same date of the update. The reason for this is because we need a couple of days to generate clone bases so that players can have bases to attack constantly. Generating clone bases can take up to 2 to 4 days after the update is live. What do you mean by extending unlimited attacks to Legend League? This idea is that in the future, Legend League players will be able to do loot attacks after the 8 daily battles are done. Will there be any limitation to back-to-back attacks driven by purposefully disconnection? Your troops will remain in battle for the duration of the attack. If you disconnect from a battle, your army will remain engaged in battle until it is complete, which prevents attacks of the same type until your army returns from the battle. Pretty much what I was talking about here, that Clash Ninja, of course, and a lot of other people were talking about after, this whole update was announced. So What about the game economy? Will these new changes break the loot in the game? Don't worry, we've considered this, but overall we feel it's a better player experience to attack whenever you want. There is always a limitation of builders and storage limits, so enjoy and play as much as you want, guilt-free. If we need to implement limits in the future, we will communicate long in advance like we did with this change. As always, we appreciate your feedback and we are looking forward to show you all about the feature later in the month. So overall, I think it's safe to say, overwhelmingly, like a lot of people are very happy about the troop training being removed. But it's also safe to say, the whole force closing, I guess, controversy. It's been in the game. I believe since it came out. I've used it, especially if you have like a lot of accounts to do client capital. Like I said, to do client games, if you want to do a lot of attacks, you can force close them out. But it's pretty clear, the reason why they're deciding to remove this, especially with troop training being instant, especially, it can incentivize people cheating potentially with bots. However, all that works, I don't want to obviously get into it because I don't know how it works, and obviously that's against terms of service. But really interesting stuff, man. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys previously use the force closing feature? I'm really curious to see what they're going to do to make builder base and client capital, I guess, more playable. Because let's be honest, we already know the problems that are with that. I'm just very interested. I'm very intrigued, and I'm very surprised that they're implementing it in client capital because you only have limited attacks, right? So 6 attacks. Like things like builder base and client capital have always benefited from force closing, and it makes sense to not do it for home village, right? Because people would have definitely, abused the instant training. But yeah, man, I really want to. I'm really curious to see what they will do in terms of that, considering the attacks are limited and people already have been doing that since the release. But let me know what you guys think, man. Pretty insane changes coming to the game, of course, in the next update. Lots of stuff to look forward to, and I'll be covering it all. If you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe, leave a like, and let me know what you guys think about the changes coming to Clash of Clans. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Until then, I'm out. Peace.